Logging into Zoom call. Bright screens, bright minds, real estate geeks, all chasing leads and lines. We talk about the market, numbers on
All right, that's it. We created that that little intro song with AI. I thought it was so funny. So I had to play it. Woo, let's go. Let's go. We're going to talk about live streaming. I do it every single week. I know many of you have had questions about it, but I wanted to point out that live streaming for me is my number one lead source. And don't get me wrong, I get leads from other lead sources. Of course, the videos, I wouldn't do the videos if I wasn't getting anything from it. But the live streams bring me the most business. And of course, I'm always analyzing to find out what it was that made that happen. Like what was it that made people connect with me so much more through the live streams? And I truly believe it's because you are connecting with them on a whole different level. Whenever you're making a video, it still feels like there's this imaginary wall between you as a creator, real estate agent, and them as the public. Sure, they can ask their questions in the chat or in the comment section, but sometimes those get buried. But when you're live, you have that immediate connection with that audience, and you can answer their questions as you're looking at them right into the camera, so that feels like you're actually having that personal conversation with them. So they're much more likely to reach out to you from those live streams. That's my theory on this. That's why I think that's why it's been so successful, but not just for me. So Joe and I have been teaching people through our course how to live stream, and we've been answering their questions. And now a lot of them have gotten the courage to do a lot more live streaming. And they say, hands down, it's the thing that has been bringing them the most business, the most leads, the most connections, the most clicks to their link, to their form for them to fill out. And, it really does work. I don't think, and I'll say this, and Joe, you can argue with me if you want. I don't think if you just did a channel specifically live streaming, that it would necessarily connect as well as creating content and having the live stream. Because I think the content introduces them to your expertise, and then the live stream gives them the opportunity to connect with you one-on-one before they actually physically reach out to you. What do you think about that?
I agree with that. I think you can build an audience just doing live streams, because we've done that, right? Mm-hmm. But if we were to actually, on this channel that we're doing it, if we were to actually create content and actually put this stuff out, it would expand even further, and it would go quicker. So like, I agree 100% with you on the fact that if you're really trying to grow, not only do you, because I think people don't start live streaming first. I think they start making videos and uploading the videos. And what we're saying is add live stream to your release time, like actually add that into your strategy for YouTube, because people really do want to connect, and they want to talk, and they want to have questions. And there's something about, like what you're saying, live, like we can talk and put people's questions up on the screen. We can explain why we think the things that we think. And then we can augment that by having really good content that educates them, that the algorithm is like suggesting content for them. If they're searching for, like what is now a good time to buy, and then it automatically is suggesting in those content and that information. So I agree 100% that we've seen personally that you can do it from just live streams, but it will be so much better if you incorporate that into your actual strategy.
Right. Yeah. And we've noticed that, it doesn't take much, right? So One of our students just did his first live stream. He had 0 people on there, 0. But the way that Joe and I teach how to live stream, it isn't that you just get people to watch your live streams when it's live, that we in the way that we teach it, it becomes almost like a video in itself, and then it captures an audience beyond the live stream. So, that was our friend Sean Connors. He did his first live stream, but this is a student I wanted to share with everybody that just started doing his live streams. I think he has like maybe 5 or 6 different live streams on there. And let me show you how he's doing right now, because this is really interesting. So he has this first one he did 4 weeks ago. It has 37 views. Very typical, right? You just start off. I mean, you can't expect much, right? But then he did one the next week, and it already has 2,500 views for a live stream.
Yep.
And that, I mean, he didn't get all those people the day of. It was after the stream. And then he has another one he did 2 weeks ago, 763. And then he did one 9 days ago that has 1,700 views. And you'd be shocked, by the way. This is another thing that people need to understand. You'd be shocked how many people will watch a live stream even though it's not live, because it is so stripped back, and they can see the gaffes. They can see your own.
It's real.
It's very real, and people are starving for people that are authentic, and everybody says, "Oh, be your authentic self," and nothing is more frustrating than hearing that and going, "What do you mean?" Live streaming gives that authenticity to you as a person, so that the person that they are seeing on the videos is the actual person that's in the live streams as well, because it's not edited. And they get to see your jokes and your gaffes, and even some things like I've seen people's cats jump on the streams. People love that kind of stuff. So
like their personality, you get to see the personality, and it's not this manicured, doctored version of it. It's very, very authentic and raw, and it's awesome because as an agent, you might be like, well, that scares me to death. Like, I don't want to do a live stream because it's gonna catch all of my mess ups and all the things that we're doing. But the cool part is that you learn, and in the beginning, there's not a lot of people that are actually like, they're not following you right yet. So you can learn, and you don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, I said this, or I didn't know what to talk about for an hour by myself. But the cool thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then it becomes so easy that then your real personality can come out, because you're not worried so much about like, well, how do I answer this, or what do I do? And that's what really starts to gravitate, and people start to go, oh, I really like how they're talking about this. I like the way they explained it. I'm going to follow them. That's just how it works.
Yep. Who is another another student that we want to show them, just to show that like how the power of live streaming?
Well, let's do Danny's. He's just started back up doing it. Probably, I think he said 2 months or something like that.
Right. Yeah, he had to step back for a minute, and then a bunch of stuff has happened. He's in another country, by the way.
Yeah, he's in the UK. So,
what's Danny's last name? I always
Valencia.
Oh, you're going to ask me to spell that? V-E-N?
It's D-A-N-N-Y V-A-L-I-N-C-I-A. L. So D-A-N-N-Y V-A-L-E-N-C-I-A.
V-A-L.
I got it. You want me to put it up there?
Yeah, you put it up there, because I mean, you're asking the wrong person to spell.
No, I can't.
No,
I can't spell either, so don't worry about that. Let's see. Let's go, Danny. Share. Can you guys see that?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
This
So
is
let's
our
go to his lives. So he's got like right here. He streamed this a day ago, 296 views, and then he streamed 8 days ago, 1,300 views. And then 2 weeks ago, it really depends on like the topic too. And he's testing different topics.
Correct.
But what's great is, I mean, a month ago, 2,200, 1,400. So people, and you can see this isn't like he's sharing information. He's sharing things. It's not something that's like
super fancy.
And people are like, well, it's not polished. Like people want the information and they want the personality. I almost think they're turned off if it's too polished, to where they're like, oh, I want to follow somebody that's like not really, that has good information. I'm not so worried about what their camera angle looks like. But I will say this, you really need good audio though. You want good audio with that. But look, it's great. We had, I think there was another suggestion. Rebecca was saying, show Jen's live stream.
Yeah, we will definitely show Jen's. Let's go ahead and put Jen Sylvester up.
All right.
Oh, and I want to point this out. Jen and well, I'll talk about this. Jen has another live stream as well.
Yes.
Let me do I have it on my end.
You have it on yours?
I was doing it already.
Well, here, look, I'll just take mine off. It's all good.
Yeah, there we go. This is Jen Sylvester. She's been a student of ours. Matter of fact, she started with the YouTube Video Geeks, our very first class.
Yep.
She took some personal space to take care of some other stuff. Then she came back. Once she came back, girl was on fire. This girl is on fire.
Yeah.
So let me show you her live stream. So again, she understands that, when you first start out, you're not going to get a ton of views on your live streams, but that doesn't mean because you got only 46 views on your first live stream that you should give it up. It doesn't mean it was a dead product, right? It doesn't mean it didn't resonate with your audience. It just means your audience hasn't found your live streams yet, right? And so like she 46, then 63, then 189, each time getting a little bit more, 210, then 99. Who knows what happened that week? Could have been the thumbnail, could have been the topic,
could have been me.
Yeah. Oh, you were on that one. Yeah, it was probably Joe. Joe probably the problem.
Nobody likes talking to me. It's fine.
Then we got up to 386, and then 1,000, and then 2,200. I mean, this girl is cranking. So that's the point, is that they never start off like, nobody starts off blowing it out of the water right away. I mean, maybe there is a few anomalies out of the but these are brand new channels. These channels are brand new.
Yeah, that's less than 6 months old.
Right.
Or maybe about 6 months now.
Right. And they're getting those kinds of views right away from understanding the correct way to live stream, how to treat that live stream as a video that moves on and creates an audience even afterwards. And it creates a good connection to people that are looking to buy and sell in the future as well. So it's like, don't look at a live stream as, oh God, I got to make more content. Cause we know it's, to get the scripting and to do all these other things and editing. It's a lot. Live stream kind of strips out all of that. And it's just really talking about the market, having a conversation into the camera and really connecting with your audience. You're not having to freak out as much, with the B-roll and the, making sure all the transitions are right. And, don't sweat it. A live stream is just meant to be live. So,
one thing with this too is that the way that we teach it is you're adding to the content that you're already making, because a live stream is actually pretty easy to do. You just get in front of your camera, you turn on go live, and you're there. There is software that can help you with that, but realistically, you just have to be willing to dedicate an hour and be consistent on doing that, so that you can actually help generate more audience, more interest, more views. And those views matter. They turn into leads. They turn into fans. They turn into like all different types of things to help you with your real estate business. There was something we were listening to Owen video this morning, and he was talking about how views matter. And we really like Owen a lot. And he said something that I thought was super interesting. He said that if you have a channel and you're an agent and you put out a video, you're judged kind of by the views. And they think like subconsciously, like if you only have so many views, subconsciously or in the back of your mind, you're like, maybe they don't really know what they're talking about. And it could be like the best information out there. It just wasn't presented in a way to get the people to click to watch it. And so that's one of the things that I thought, I don't know if I necessarily agree 100% with that, because I think the content is more important. But he did say something that I'm like, I could see how like maybe some people would
validation to the audience.
Exactly. Some people would say, well, they're got a YouTube channel. They know what they're talking about. They have thousands of views. Going
it gives
against
you credibility.
Exactly. I think it's more of that credibility, but one of the quickest ways, because of YouTube and their goals, they want people on the stream longer. They want you on the platform longer. And now they've made it so easy to project onto TVs with smart TVs and all that stuff. The people are watching this and replacing their weekly shows because there's like nothing good or original. And now they're turning to YouTube because of that.
I didn't realize, because I haven't checked her channel in a hot minute. Did you see that she has a video that has
358,000 views? Yeah, I saw that a month ago.
Oh my gosh. Her channel's new, you guys. Like, honest to God. Let me pull it up. Like, I think it has the date on here.
Yeah, January
27th. Basically the beginning of February, she started this channel. So like when people, this is the point I want to make. When people say it's too late, the market's too saturated.
No way.
There's too many real estate agents doing it. You know, there's no way I can gain traction. I waited too long to start a YouTube channel. That couldn't be further from the truth. You're only as good as your last video. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I've had some stinkers myself. And then you have videos that take off, and those videos, more eyeballs on your channel is going to create a bigger business, period. And she has a whole new unique problem now.
Yep.
Because of the
fact
I
deal with all these leads.
She doesn't know how to deal with all the leads. So, you know, like I said, oh my gosh, where's Jen been? I'm like, I'm probably just trying to catch up with all the leads.
Catch up with the work. Yeah. There's a Ray from Illinois Home says, do live streams get more activity versus videos on their own? That's a really good question.
That is a really good question. No. If you're talking about activity as far as the amount of like comments, likes, and shares, you're going to get more activity with a fully edited video from my experience.
Yep.
But as far as for
leads.
me, as far as leads are concerned, you have a better turnover, but it's probably because they started with a video first, then caught one of your live streams, and then they reached out.
Yep.
I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's the combination of
it's a combination for sure. I think that if anything, you're going to get, if you do videos the right way, and if you structure your thumbnails and your titles to grab attention, that is going to help you get more views. And then having a good structure of how you present the information, that's going to give you views because it's good content. But what I feel like has happened, at least for us on this channel, is that people get to know us better and they lurk. They kind of like ask their questions, kind of say some things, and then they kind of hang out. And then because we're providing real value and we're really genuinely wanting people to be successful, giving all of this information out that you can implement immediately, they come back for more. And when they come back for more, they're like, well, what else do you do? And it's like, oh, well, we have a course. And then they're like, well, how do I join? You know, like there's all these kind of things. It's the same thing with real estate. You provide so much value by giving them good information. And then it's augmented by live streams, because now they can interact with you and ask a question. And then from that question, they're like, oh, like that's I found a ton of value. And then they start listening more and watching. They hit the bell notification now, because now they're like, hey, I want to be notified when they go live, or I want to be notified when they release a new video. And that's when you start getting these fans that are not only coming to your rescue when you have trolls, because you're going to get some trolls too, but
no, you won't.
Never, right? But the thing is that it all of a sudden gives you just more authority and gives you more credibility. And then you start to become like, in a way, they feel like they're talking to a celebrity because they've been watching you on TV.
Yep. There's another thing I want to share with you guys. So sometimes when you're live streaming, some people will turn a channel just into a live stream podcast channel. And the thing is that you can have a lot of fun with that, but it may not get you enough traction, but they do it for fun. I have to share this because I think it's like, if you're a real estate agent, you should probably check this out because it's actually very entertaining. Two of our students decided, you know what? let's just share some really crazy stuff. So Jen and Jackie Baker teamed up. They created this Reddit real estate disasters. They pull stories straight from Reddit and they share them and then they discuss them. And like, it is no holds barred. They are not trying to do anything but just have fun talking about this stuff. And then it all ties into, you know, all the legalese of what's going on in the real estate world, right? Because if you were going to say, you know, like buying an inherited house, right? Boring conversation, right? But if you took a story from Reddit and be like, the worst inherited, you know, real estate story I've ever heard, right? And then you took that Reddit story and then gave them the legal ease and wording and everything else on how they could have saved themselves from this inheritance nightmare. That makes it 10 times more entertaining. And these two ladies have hit it right off out of the park with this. They get do they get a ton of views? No. But what happens is that the audience, several people from their audiences, from their live streams, found out that they had this and started jumping over there. And then they felt more comfortable to reach out to them.
Yep. Because they got to see more, even more of their personality.
Yes.
Stuart asks a really good question here. He says, I have partners such as lawyers, contractors, and mortgage people wanting to do live streams. Do you suggest I do them even though my channel has very little activity?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's better
100%.
than not doing one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
the only thing I warn people about is that be very selective of the guests that you have on your stream, right?
Yep.
You don't want a bunch of yes people that always are like, yeah. I call them hinge heads, where they just sit there and do this the whole time. You know, no matter what you say, they are just nod up and down, no matter how ridiculous it is. But then you don't want to have somebody that's like a wet blanket that just sits there and you
doesn't
ask
say anything.
them a bunch of questions and they just go, yeah, that's not like that in my market. And they look terrified.
Yeah.
Make sure you vet the people that you're going to be putting on your live streams. I find that like when it becomes somebody that I'm friends with locally that doesn't do a lot of live stream or doesn't make a lot of content and you throw them on the stream, it's very intimidating for them. And then they come out very flat and terrified. So like I would, if you're going to do that, make sure that they're good on camera, because not everybody has had enough practice to feel comfortable and feel good on camera. I mean, to this day, I still get nervous filming, you know? But you just want to make sure that they have enough presence of mind to be able to have a discussion and not sound like a wet blanket.
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing too is prepare. Like have stuff prepared so that when you do your live stream, like an hour can go by like this, like super fast, or it can drag on. And so depending on if you're prepared or not. And so make sure that you have, and in the beginning, some of the things that, you know, we teach our students is, hey, you know what, like if you've had some questions, put those questions up and be like, hey, I've had this question. Doesn't have to be a live question, because in the beginning, no one's really going to be watching your stuff, but they will on the you know, after the live stream's over, they'll rewatch it. So have some stuff up there. I agree. Like Christina said something, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but it's really important that when you have different points of view, it makes for better content, because because you see two different sides of things, because it's not just, oh yeah, I agree with every single thing you say. You know, it's like, well, what about this? And especially in real estate, we all have different kind of things that we think, the ways we would handle things. Those things, you shouldn't be afraid to voice your opinion on your live stream. If that's how you feel, put it out there.
Right. Without being a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go overboard, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that you're trying to educate your potential people, but at the same point, you can also explain it in a way that makes them understand, and they may not agree with you, but at least they understand like your point of view. I mean, that's what one of Jen's videos like blew up on, was the commission stuff that they were talking about. And
I ended up having her on my live stream because she had a video that did the commission stuff. And I was like, well, I'll have her come over on my side, because, you know, and it's, you know, and what made it really interesting, because each state has treated this whole commission thing completely different.
Yeah.
So that was like really interesting for the people in the audience. So it's always good to have those guests on, to have those differences of opinion so they can hear all sides of something. I just did a live stream about the affordable housing plans that was brought out by the GOP and the Democratic Party, and they showed their platforms. I did not read it from a news article. I just read the platform. So that way it was very Nancy. I was Nancy neutral on this, but there were people on the stream that were not like on the same page as I was. And we ended up getting in a little like scuffle, right?
Yeah.
And then it was funny because I was like, God, I know my audience. But I mean, it was genuine from my heart because I looked on the side and they were like, get him, Christina. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. I was like,
Yep.
yeah. So it's okay to touch on political things, especially when you have a passion for it. It's not okay to be like a name calling, degrade other people to get your point across. That's never a good idea. Never
Yep.
on the live stream. No matter if you feel that way or not, it just makes for bad viewing pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
You still remember you're a professional, and this is
Right.
this what you're using this for is to get leads, to leverage the platform to help you get more exposure, get more leads. So you still want to come across as professional, helping people. There are people on the other side of it that are like, don't talk to me if you don't like this party or that party or whatever. You can still answer the question. Christina did this like last week or the week before. It's like, you're like, what did you say? Like, I just answered the question, but I didn't answer because they said something about like only answer if you're,
I got an
if you
email.
agree. I don't remember how it worked. What? Remind me.
Yeah. So in the email, he said he was asking a bunch of questions about affordable housing and what him and his wife should do. And then like for some reason towards the end of the thing, he said, and if you if you believe this political affiliation, I don't want those kinds of people giving me any answers to anything. So don't even bother answering. So I just was like, whatever, dude. I answered his questions, but I don't like, I'm not even going to
Feed into the
address.
other.
Yeah, I'm not going to address the whole, like, whatever. I was just like, thank you for reaching out. Here's the answers to your questions. So crazy. But I want to show you this. So back about 6 months ago, our good friend, successful student on YouTube, and been trying her hardest. She went back to live streaming. She hadn't done it for quite some time, and she went back to it. First live stream she did for 31 minutes. I will tell you right now, don't do a live stream for 31 minutes. But she got about 2,900 views. Not bad, but it was, she was just picking it back up again. And then she was like 284, 499. Yeah, look, 9,000. Oh my God, 2,000. And then it slowly picked up, 4,000. Then she had a little drop off right here. Then 12,000. Then 12,000. Then 27,000 views. This is a live stream. 27,000 views, 23,000 views, 19,000 views, 54,000 views, 29,000, 19,000. These are known, like these numbers. Look at this, 57,000 views.
2 days ago.
From 2 days ago.
Yep.
From 2 days ago. And that's the kind of connection that you want to have with an audience.
How many, so I'm curious, how many live viewers did she have on that?
I don't know. Oh, she messaged me and she said she had over 400 people live watching.
400 people live.
Yep.
That's a great way to prospect.
Right. But I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, Jackie's, she's been doing it in a while and, I can't get there. That is such horse pucky. I mean, there's nothing that she did that you couldn't do yourself. The way that Joe and I teach you, it isn't that we teach you what to make. We teach you how to search for the right content to address your audience so you know what kind of live streams you should be making that week. We teach you how to set up your descriptions and your cards and your the end screens, so that way you're constantly feeding the YouTube machine to create more people coming to your channel, more eyeballs on your channel, more people are going to be calling you on the phone. When people tell you views don't matter, that doesn't make any sense, because why are you making content that nobody's going to watch? That was the one thing that Owen said today. I was like, thank God somebody freaking said it.
Yeah.
Because people will say views don't matter. The heck they don't. The more
They
eyeballs that
matter.
watch your videos, the more eyeballs are going to be calling to look up the number for you to get a hold of you, or your email address. Like, it's all important. To say that views don't matter is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Dumb. And it even matters if you have a local channel. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to lose my, you know what?
Mhm. Steady, Christina, steady.
I know, but I get so angry because there's people that give advice out in this sphere. And I'm very passionate about YouTube. I love it very much. And I think, I already know it's the one thing that has changed my life forever. Like, I love it. I genuinely love it. And so when you get people that don't understand it on a level that I understand it, and they spit out information like it's fact, and I'm arguing,
it's not.
And I'm arguing with them, and they have the I know it all kind of attitude. That is very close-minded. You cannot feel like you know it all on YouTube, because tomorrow it can change. And I guarantee you in a month it will. And the one thing I can credit both Joe and I on is the fact that we are constantly keeping up to date of what's happening. We've actually even changed modules in our course just to keep up with the changes that have happened on YouTube in the last year. I mean, we've only had this course out by maybe a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
And like, I mean, how much has it changed? How much has it changed?
Yeah, there's lots that change. I mean, we're talking more about live streams than we did a year and a half ago.
Yeah, well, how many people wouldn't even do them?
Right.
How many? They were like, oh, I don't know. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're leaving money on the table if you're not doing them.
Yeah. Ray says, hey, I know you're going to say it depends, but I'm going to ask anyways. Do you have data on the best times or days to do your live streams? So I'll say something, Christina can say it too. Your data in your analytics will tell you when you should be doing your live streams. If you have a channel that you're releasing content, you should have a chart will tell you when people are tuning in. And then we teach specific ways of saying, okay, well, you want to ride that wave. We call them the wave, right? So you want to ride that wave. And so, yes, it depends, but it depends on like how often you're releasing content. It depends on your own personal analytics. And that's the whole thing that we teach in the course and everything is about educating you and teaching you how to understand your audience, how to understand what the algorithm is doing, and then to look for patterns and trends that you can then ride the wave that helps you get those massive, massive views.
And I preach this all the time, because I'm going to say, not only does it depend, but it also depends on your niche, your audience, your avatar. I mean, it depends on so many things. But I will say this: if you're new to YouTube and you only, you have to like 10 videos out there, they're only getting maybe the max like a couple thousand views or whatever. I just want you to pick a time, any time that you in your brain that you can think of. Okay, when should I live stream? Don't live stream on the same day you release. Don't do that. You can live stream the very next day or the day before. And the next thing I would tell you is, when is it that you can be consistent at that time every single week? Because I know when you start out, you're like, well, no one's watching anyways. But the thing is there could have been one person watching. So they're waiting for it next week and they want to see what you have to say. So they want to come back next week at the same time. Don't change your times every week. Make sure that live stream is always at, like 3:00 on Wednesday, whatever the day you decide. When you have a small channel, pick a day that you can consistently go ahead and release or be on that live stream for at least an hour. And I know a lot of people was like, I can't talk for an hour. I even noticed this today on a friend of ours live stream who has not live streamed, I think, in over a year. When he started out, there were 0 people on his live stream. When he got over that 30, 40-minute hump, all of a sudden there were 10 people in his live stream.
Yep.
And so that is the key. You have to talk for more, just a hair over an hour. We're going to have to cut this off at under an hour, though.
Right.
Just let you know.
So Ray's, the answer is yes. Like if you don't have enough data because you only have 4 videos right now, that's totally fine. Pick a day and a time that works for you.
Correct.
And then be consistent at it.
Yep. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
That's all I did when I first started. I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, I figured, a lot of people sit at home after church on Sundays and they're just lounging around. So I'll just go ahead. I knew there was a lot of men that watched my channel, and I figured the wives are cooking dinner or whatever. So I'll just do it after church and after the open houses were closed, which was 3:30 on Sundays. So I did it then. And then I even had I used to do Sunday walkthroughs of listings. That was an interesting thing that I did for a live stream. You can do all sorts of different types of live streams. It doesn't have to be a talking head type thing. You could do what I just said. You could do if you had a video touring channel, if you're not live streaming, doing a live video tour, you're missing the boat. You're totally missing the boat. What a way to connect with an audience, and they can ask their questions about that specific listing live. I mean, I don't know how many people aren't doing that, but there's a good portion of them. So you could be the person that carves the path for that. I would do it 100%. Even if you have, let me just put it this way. If you have your talking head channel and you have a touring channel, once a week, just tour one of your listings live.
Yeah.
Just do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it for me, Bob.
So yeah, that's one of the things that we really like to talk about. And then a lot of people, this is the other thing, is just doing it is the best way to get started. A lot of people are like, well, I got to buy the camera, the mic, all the things, and then they never end up doing anything. So commit and make it something that is just as important as a listing appointment or a buyer's appointment, whatever it is. Make it so it's that important. Or maybe you're really good at prospecting. This is prospecting. So make it in your schedule that you set the time apart and then start doing it. But the key is to be consistent. Don't worry so much about if you've got everything dialed in and your background doesn't look good or you don't know. Nobody cares. You care more than they do. It's more about the information that you're providing. And as long as you're prepared with some good information that will help your potential viewers, because you're talking to a very specific audience, then that's all that matters. And then little by little, you can adjust, add some more things. You see it all the time on YouTube channels. Someone will start making content and the audio may not be great, the video may not be great, and then the next video it's a little bit better, and then a little better, and then pretty soon they've got a background and they've got a light maybe, and then pretty soon, a couple years into it, they're full on knocking it out of the park because they've learned along the way. The cool thing about what we're doing, and I'm doing another plug for our course, is we can help you expedite that. So you don't have to do it on your own. We have tips, we have tricks, we have legit ways that are proven to help you become more efficient on YouTube, even with streaming software and ideas on what has worked, what hasn't worked. Those types of things are super important. So it's you can do it all yourself, or you can have us help you, and it will make a huge difference. And the thing is, today we're starting a new course.
We are the
new round.
Yeah, the new round of new students are coming in. Our group is very small, and it's our fault because we didn't advertise. guys.
Well, we were building another like
We
course,
built,
so.
yeah, we built a whole other course just for thumbnails. So if you want to know how to create really super engaging thumbnails, like the students that we have, I showed you right at the beginning, all those thumbnails, it's because we taught them how to do them and do them correctly.
Yep.
So there's a whole individual course that is just for thumbnails that we have been working on for the last several weeks. In the meantime, I think we only have 2 or 3 students. So if you wanted to get onto this course this time, you can, and you'll get really one-on-one treatment because there's only a couple other students in that group that are going to be working together. We also have another group, which is the advanced coaching. So after you finish your 8-week course, you're going to get, was it 4 weeks? 4 weeks?
4 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, 4 weeks advanced training. And if you want to continue that, that will be at a fee, but you still get 4 weeks advanced training. So you're not like left in the dust.
Yep.
And we wouldn't have the successful students that we have right now if they didn't continue down the road with the advanced training.
Yeah, most of them actually have gone through the course. So you have lifetime access to the actual online content, but they've gone through the course over and over and over. And each time they're like, I didn't realize that. Like,
Right.
how did I miss this? Like and it's because the way that we teach it, it really, really does. It's meant to be digested multiple times, not just one time.
Yep. And if you can't get on it today, that doesn't mean anything. You can still sign up for at least another week afterwards.
Yep.
Because after that, people always say, oh, the first couple of weeks are so boring. And then they get into week 3 and they said, my brain is bleeding.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so far behind. I feel like I'm so far behind, but it's totally fine. And Joe, are we going to do a contest?
Let's do one. That'd be cool.
Okay, so Joe and I are going to do a contest, and the people that there's 3 that have joined the course right now, but all of you, whoever joins in the next week, is going to get the opportunity to get lifetime coaching. So if you sign up now, you might have 1 in 3 chances or 1 in 4 chances to win. Anybody else signs up, that 1 in 5 chances, but someone in that group will get lifetime coaching from Joe and I. And it is live coaching. It isn't recorded. It is me and Joe.
We have a Zoom call every week that we go over the questions, the things that we've noticed, helping people with their thumbnails, their titles, their playlist, all of the things that help them become successful.
Yep. What angle? What is?
Let me go back. Sorry.
It says, what angle could I take for live streams on a 100% home tour channel? Well, like I said before, I would go to one of the listings live. I would schedule that. Let's just say I would do Sunday walkthrough, honestly, because everybody's doing home tours. Everybody's going to walk through houses on Sunday, right? They're all like doing the open house. So I would have open house Sunday. And I would go to either new construction or one of your listings and do a live stream on the open house.
Ask them what they want to see. Like, tell them, like, you can talk, but it's interaction. So it's not you just doing it. They may say, well, tell me about this or that, or hey, would you guys like to see, what
they want to go in the attic every
the hidden pantry, like all the things. No one showed me the garage. I'd like to see the garage,
Right. And then you can show the storage in the garage. You can show the electrical panels if there's any extra spaces to put in some new switches. The dudes always want to go in the attic, which makes me sweat up the storm. I hate it every time Eddie would hand me up the phone and I would go up in the freaking attic and
walk. There you go.
They want to see the storage up in the attic. Then they want to see the air conditioning units. They want to see it all when it's live. Whenever you're doing a home tour video, nobody's looking in the freaking attic. Nobody's pulling apart the stupid air conditioning unit. Nobody's looking at the hot water heater. But when you are live, they want to see all that stuff. They want you to walk around the perimeter to make sure there's no cracks in the foundation. They want to see if there's any hairline cracks along the brick. They want to see it all. And you do it. You do it live, and you let silly things happen. Like if a dog in the neighborhood runs up to you, you're like, oh, hello, puppy. You want to go on the tour with us? You let it happen. They love it. They do. They think it's great.
Yep. So Alicia asks a good question. She says, I'm sure you're going to tell me once a week. let's see, you're going to tell me a week is best for live streaming, but can I do it every other week or once a month?
You're going to get better traction if you do it once a week, but if you want to do it every other week, that's fine. I know there are some channels that only do it once a month, but I would, if I was to do it once a month, I would make sure that I'd mention that on every single live stream. Like on the last Friday of every month, just know that this is when our next live stream is going to be. So that way they're prepared. The audience is prepared that at the end of the month, they're always going to get the live stream for you. So I would say that. And then when the live stream is published, make that as part of your pinned comment. So they're aware. If they come back, they're like, how come she hasn't live streamed again? You can see that pinned comment that came from you that says, our next live stream will be coming up always at the last Friday of the month. And they know, so that way they're used to that cadence of your channel.
Yep. It says the struggle would be planning and trying to get it to 1 hour.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's really not. Just pull up some articles, especially when you have somebody. If you have someone else to talk to during that live stream, it's really not that bad. It's really not. And if you're talking about something you're extremely passionate about, like when I talk about manufactured housing, man, I can go on a tangent. When I'm talking about affordable housing, I can go on a tangent. And like, I understand everything there is to say about it. So whenever I get a snarky, stupid comment, boy, oh boy, I'm like, oh, hold on, I got an answer for that. And then I go on a tangent, like diarrhea of the mouth, and people love it. People love it.
And it's something that you've studied because you've made, and this, I guess this goes back to that very first question. Does it really matter if you just do live stream or if you do the other? And the answer is, if you're doing the videos the way that we teach you, then you're researching, you're learning about stuff. So you become an expert at it. So that the more you give it when you're on the live stream, it's like, oh, I already know all about that because I've already done a ton of research on this. So I can give a really good example and I can pull up where I'm getting that information from.
Mm-hmm. I concur, Joe Eves.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about consistency of putting up our live streams. We've consistently always done a live stream, but we have not been consistent on the time. So from here on out, everybody just know this. We started this at 2. We're going to be doing it at 1:30 every Thursday, and it's going to stay like that. The reason we're doing that is because right at 3:00 our time, Central Time, that's when we have our time for our students, and we want to make sure that we are not cutting them off early. We used to do them later in the afternoon, these live streams, but it ended up cutting off our students' time, and we never want to do that. So it will be 1:30 from here on out every Thursday. So mark your calendars. And if I please make sure that if you're deciding to do this course, now's the time to do it because you can win free lifetime coaching, you know?
And honestly, if you're really trying to grow your channel because you want more leads, you want more exposure, you want to position yourself as the expert, and people are turning to YouTube more and more and more, like there's the easy way and there's a hard way. And the easy way is learning from other people's mistakes. And that's what we're here for, is to say, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. And the hard way is learning it yourself. And it takes longer. It's harder. You may end up quitting. With us, the cool thing is I
have years of mistakes to share with you.
Yeah. And we have, and the thing is, we have the passion. Like, we literally want our students to be so successful. Like, it makes us so happy when we see that they're following what we taught them and they're getting amazing results. And the thing is it all happens differently for different students, but it happens because they stay consistent and they're dedicated.
Yep. I do want you to know that live streaming is probably the most inexpensive way to build content on your YouTube channel. A webcam, you can get one for less than $100. You can get a decent microphone that hooks up to your computer for less than $100. You can use Streamyard, which is you can use it for free. When you use it for free, you have the little duck logo in the side. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only drawback is that it's not at 1080p. Again, nobody cares. They're there to hear what you have to talk about. So, don't feel like, oh, well, I don't know, I don't have enough money to do live streaming. That really is
that's not a valid excuse. The barrier to entry is you have to have a smartphone and you have to be able to have an internet connection and a YouTube account. Like, that's literally it.
I just put a referral link in the chat right now for Streamyard. So if you're interested in Streamyard, just go ahead and click on that, and you can sign up under my referral link. Thank you. But it's it's not that expensive, and
No,
the return
not
on
for everything you can do with it. It's amazing.
Right. And the return on investment on that thing is amazing. I mean, it's really great. And not only that, with StreamYard, and I'm not like just plug in StreamYard. There's other apps that you do this as well. But the thing I love about this is that it actually stores this live stream in their app on their website. So you can download that and make shorts out of it, or whatever you decide to do it with. You can make reels and other content with that live stream, so you can share it on other platforms. So, it's great. I love me some StreamYard. I've been using it for years now. I've tried them all. I had Ecamm Live. That was fine. I had B Live TV, which ended up being only on Facebook. And then I don't know what happened to them.
They went away like that. I don't know if they still did it or whatever. And then they also had like some open source stuff like OBS you could do and like
free.
Yep.
OBS is free. Big learning curve, but there's thousands of videos, thousands on YouTube, because OBS has been around since the dawn of time.
Yeah, it's been around forever, but it is very like this. The hard thing is that when you're using a mic and you're using a camera, it's the audio syncing, because there's always like that lag, and you're like, why does it look like I'm like talking and then it's like dubbed over, and even though it's my own voice, and that was super frustrating. So you don't have to worry about any of that with like StreamYard. You just literally plug your stuff in, it syncs up, and you're good to go.
The other thing with OBS too is you better make sure your computer can handle it.
Yeah.
And your internet. Because I like my internet, I didn't realize it was bad until I started using OBS, and I kept dropping packets at the line. I have no idea what the hell that means. But that's what they were
You're dropping them.
Yeah, I was dropping them because it would, they give you the little measurements, and they're like, oh, you're dropping packets. So it made me look like I was like Max Headroom. You remember those old videos? So when you use a third-party app like this, it makes it a lot easier. And you can put those like comments on the screen, and but you can also just go live from YouTube. Just know that you won't have those extra features where you can like share a screen or put that comments on the screen, Yeah. Just know that.
Terrence asked a really good question. He says, more people watching on 4K TV. Should we care about not streaming in 4K, aka 1080p, enough?
1080p is enough.
1080p is enough, but what I would suggest you do is that make sure your frame rate is at 60 frames a second, so that it actually it'll look clearer on a TV than if you're doing 24 frames per second.
That's good advice.
Yeah, it will look a lot better, because the frame rate, that's what TVs run at.
Frame rate?
You go to the theaters, it's 24.
You said frame rate.
Frame rate. And guess what? I'm not even embarrassed, because I know I can't talk.
Well, I mean, if you didn't have me like Josh at you, like a little poke you like a little
it's totally
sister.
Fine. It's totally fine. I need to be picked on every once in a while. So I'm a middle child. It never happened. So
we have students we need to pick on. So if you guys are interested, in the description of this, there is a link to the Real Estate Video Geeks website. That's all what it's called, realestatevideogeeks.com, and sign up for the course today. Again, the first week starts today. That doesn't mean that you don't have a chance to start next week. You can still get caught up. The next week, we're going to have there's going to be a student that we pick that gets lifetime coaching. So you'll have an opportunity, because it's a very small class. Just saying.
The odds are ever in your favor.
The odds are forever in your favor. That is correct. That is correct. We should, I want to share with everybody our new branding song.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. We're going to play it for you. We got too quiet. Raise your hand. This is my favorite part. It's the hook. You gotta give the hook.
This is the hook. It's a good one too.
Leads on the line.